Well, welcome back. And that's welcome back to me as well, because it's been about 5 months since I was last out here. And seeing how, what was it, in October, I did a video and I have not posted it, which I will post it. And unfortunately, when I did that video, that was after not being here all summer. It was in October, and I did kind of like the before video, but I did not have time to do the after. So this is kind of another before but after. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. So this is before doing what I need to do to bring myself out of the winter season into the spring and summer. And kind of I will have an after, but also this is what it looks like after I did my work from the fall's work over the summers, if that makes any sense. Of course, I kind of like to start in this corner, which that's east, north. And this is the Santa Rosa plum, which right now is completely dormant. This year was not as cold as last year. There were some cold days, but not consistently cold. So this might not pop as quick, but it's always dormant this time of year anyways, no matter what. The artichokes that have been here forever are doing their thing, because we did get a lot of rain again this year. It just rained last night, maybe a half an inch, but there was quite a bit of rain over the past few months in this rainy season. So the air here is dormant as well, but looking really good. There's a lot of good bud sites on here, and the structure is really nice. I like it. This is the lamb haas, which looks like it's going to bloom quite a bit. Don't know if anything will stick this year. It's still kind of young. We'll see. I really won't be here to thin it out if it does, but it'll self-thin. You can see it's come up quite a bit. It's probably up 2 feet or so at least from when I planted it. This night blooming jasmine has really taken over. Really likes the rain, obviously. I have had irrigation the whole time, but it's been shut off for probably almost a month or so due to the rains. And this Acanium Pride of Madeira is completely out of control. You can see there's the taller one. I really don't like those flowers, the color. This one's nicer, but you can't even walk through. So let's try to get through here. Yeah, that's a jungle. Need a machete. And be able to see this other avocado here. So this is the Surprise, and this one's in the ground. Looks decent, a little crispy, but you can see all the new growth coming in. Let me get around this way. And yeah, so there's some new growth coming in for sure. Don't really see any flower clusters here, but there might be something hidden around. Oh yeah, that looks nice in there. I expect this to be a slow grower, but once it kind of kicks in, it should produce really nice. Yeah, these things are weeds, but really nice looking, always. The orange tree this past year was like a super bloom, and right now we're back into the growth season, the pre-growth before the flowers come in, which should come in probably another month or two. You can see there's still some oranges kind of around here and there. There's a couple over there. There's a couple up in there. But overall, it looks really nice. Oranges are still good, but they're starting to get a little bit dried out. The sweet spots in December through March, I guess, February better. But yeah, there's quite a bit in here. So there's a couple, you can see there's some little suckers in here I got to pull off. But with all this rain, it looks really nice. And I'm going to come back through here again. Yeah, front of the house, it's like a fire plant or something. I'm not sure. These are good. No irrigation in here, but these rains have been really nice. Of course, the Romero. Rosemary is always the bee's delight, and there's quite a few on here right now doing their thing. But it's kind of the upper garden here. Check out that Wirtz avocado that's in the ground. So this one's kind of crispy. So the irrigation has been shut off up here for about a month, and it's only been getting rainwater. which doesn't look too bad, but it's a little crispy. But there is a lot of new bud growth up in here, a lot of flowers. So all this is going to get some good watering. And my dragon fruits are everywhere. There's the top of the cherimoya. That's it in there. Looks like the papaya is split. Acanium's out of control. I'm gonna get back through here. So that entrance, the Chilean jasmine or some sort of jasmine, it's looking nice. Over here, this is the Tahitian pomelo. Kind of looks like it needs some nitrogen. Kind of yellowed out in here. This thing has been in the pot for a long time, so most likely pretty root bound, and it needs a lot of food. So it hasn't had food for 6 months or so. But there's a lot of new flower growth coming on, and some actual new growth here. But I think it's loaded with new flower clusters just everywhere. About to pop. Cleveland sage, which is native here, looks really nice. I like that. So yeah, there's some more of these flowers in here. These are really about to pop. These already popped out, and you can see they're got some fruit on them. And it's gonna be hard to walk through here, but yeah, the fan favorite in here, the apricot, which was, this thing's been abused for so long, but in the past 2 years it's gotten triple, 4 times, 5 times the form that it had before. So it's got a really nice open canopy now, and I was told that there was quite a bit of fruit last year, so this year it'll be even more. This is the mid-pride, August Pride peach, which is starting to bloom out some here. And this is the desert gold, which always comes in early. So you can see, perfect timing to get a little view of the flowers. And definitely try to thin this out again. I'm gonna most likely bring some of it down anyways, just because these have a tendency to break. There's just too much fruit load. Yeah, it looks nice. This is always a good producer. And this one's old. This is pushing 20 years. The cherimoya, this is the booth that was finally put into its forever home. It's definitely put out some good growth. So all of this is down to the bare root. There was nothing, no branches on here at all. I tried to do some grafting, but they didn't take. But you can see there's good 2 or 3 feet of growth all over the place. So this year should have a better form. I'm gonna have to clear out a lot of this and kind of take some of this stuff out too to get some more sun. There's some avocado rootstock and my blueberries, which look okay, but they need some more sun. But yeah, that's a decent little tour of the front here. And like I said, I'm gonna have to take this out, a lot of this these branches down, and kind of thin them out, or it's going to be out of control this summer. It'll shadow everything, which is already putting a lot of shadows on this apricot, which was the issue before because it was not getting any sun for a good 5 years or so. It was kind of sad. But yeah, this is the lime, the Tahitian lime. The Barras lime looks really good. You can see some down here that fell. These are yellowed out, are pretty sweet. But yeah, it looks pretty healthy. There's a lot of new growth going on here. A couple flowers popping. And we'll go see what's going on in the back. Looks like the Cape honeysuckle is doing really good with the rains. This does not get irrigated, but it's really growing up nice. Good privacy. Hummingbirds love it. So down here, the bamboos are looking pretty good as well with the rain. You can see all this seepage coming out. We definitely got a lot of rain. Let's check out how the worms are doing. Ooh, that's black. but I'm sure they're starving in there, if there's any at all. In here, this pile is the kind of a compost, and it's just insanely loaded with worms. I've already kind of disturbed them quite a bit, but you can see them flapping around. They're all over the place in here. So this will go into the garden here in the next few days, and I'll kind of reprocess all the weeds, put them back in here. So as you can see, this is a pile of greens. This is the machine. It has to sit up on here now because there's the little stand and plastic broke. And this is the compost from last year. So good stuff. There's a lot of worms in here. This is the new one. So we're going to try to get it at least a meter tall, 3 feet or so. This is the second little half barrel full. And I've been collecting already 2 full barrels of dry material. So still got maybe 4 more to go to get it completely filled up to the top. Old bathtub blackberries. Always doing their thing. Ooh, this one is a couple days away. Yeah, it produces year round. With the summertime, it just goes nuts. But these things always produce, and there's quite a bit of them. But this acanium is out of control too. Unfortunately, I'll have to take some of it out before it flowers. This was the from seed avocado that was really hardy. You can see how thick it is up here. And it's only, what, 3-4 years old maybe. I trimmed it out because I'm pretty happy. You can get some sun on it, but this is a graft daily 11, and you can see that it looks like it's going to do well. So I'm going to take this out here and kind of bring some more down here so it puts more energy in here. But these are the big ones, kind of like the queen avocados, and some of the very large size and variety. More blackberries. You can see in here, kind of everything's got flowers and blackberries. These are the reed avocados. They look like they need to be fed, but are doing pretty well. This one actually has some little flower clusters. There's some down there as well. And of course, lots of the broad beans in here. More blackberries. And then this is a good thing to see. So this is the transplanted blueberries that are into the new mix that were dying, and you can see how full of flowers they are right now, with some decent growth in here too. That's the apple. These are looking really good. Happy I did the change. There's an old fig. Yeah, so that one's, I tried to do some grafts down here, but they didn't take. This is the Fuji apple experiment here. Looks like I'll probably bring some of these branches down, these top ones here. But it looks like it just wasn't cold enough to lose its leaves completely. But that's okay. Looks like I had a blueberry here that didn't make it. Looks like it must have dried out. Another fig looks good. This one I'm always happy to see when it's green and not full of bugs. The Oro Blanco. So a lot of good growth in here. It looks nice and green. No flowers yet, but they're coming. Some celery, of course, more blackberries. And then this is the back area here. So lots of green. Looks like weeds. This is all cilantro, which is nice, but there's a lot of weeds in here. So I need to get some of that pressure, weed pressure out. Cut some more out here. kind of clean everything up. I have some more dragon fruit in here. Looks like it's okay. You see there's a lot of weed pressured out in here. These are all broad beans, look really nice. Oof, that elephant here, or whatever they call those things, yeah, it's huge. Never seen it that big. Canium, trim it out a little. And then this disaster over here is the chocolate sprinkles mostly, and there's some regular wild tomato in here, the cherries. You can see these produce year round, especially it's been a mild winter. It's kind of out of control. It's hard to walk back here, so we'll have to deal with that. This is going to get cleaned up, more weed control. Here's the Anna apple, which looks like there's an apple right there. There's some flowers over here. This is the pink lady. Looks like it's held onto some leaves over the winter, but not flowering. More tomatoes everywhere. Of course, more blackberries. And then my irrigation, the water outfall when it rains to get the water away from the house. Looks like it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit too. Goes out there. But you can see back here, can't even walk through here. So a lot of work. This is that fragrant, or no, this is the butterfly sage. It smells really good, real nice, like purpley. That's about to flower out. No irrigation, but it lasted the winter, or lasted the summer, because I had planted it last summer. So yeah, everything's good. So hopefully this next video will have a bit of a cleanup, and won't be doing too many time lapse. This is what I need to do for the winter to bring us into the spring and summer, when you're not going to be in a food forest for usually every 4 to 6 months. I can come back out twice a year. It seems to be the minimum. And this has been about 20 years of managing it. As you can see, it's very productive even being left alone, which is kind of how I like it. So let's see what happens. Okay, so let's start where we always start. East and north, and the plum tree. So it's starting to push out some flowers. You can see I still have to take off some of this top, but before it gets too dark, I'm gonna do a quick run through one take. And it's been about 3 weeks of daily work. I think I've taken about 2 days break, and this is what we're able to do. So the pear is blooming, which is nice. And we've had some rain the past couple days. It was really windy yesterday, so it's still a little cloudy out here. Maybe a half an inch or so. But the avocado here, which is a lamb hoss, really flushing out. Looks really nice. And I went ahead and picked out all the flowers that I could find. I don't want it to put out any fruit, even flowers. I still want it to develop. Here some more night blooming jasmines cut around. I'm gonna trim a little bit pieces here, but I have my alley I can walk through now. And the orange tree is trimmed up. Looks nice. Flowers starting to come up, but I think we're still a little bit shy of when they really start popping. Another month or so. The surprise is flushing out. Really nice. I went ahead and doubled up the irrigation, put a little heat shield here, and night blooming jasmine is going to fill up and throw some more shade here in the summer. Of course, the artichoke. These guys are my good chop and drop. Really nice. They've been here for years now. Always come up. Let's see, I'll come through here. All the chop and drop from my tree. So here is the experiment on the Wirtz avocado. So it's flushing out really nice, but it's been abused. I really did a good paint job on it this time. It's been really exposed to the sun, so there may be some irreversible damage on some of the branches. Hopefully it comes back this year. We've got quite a good bit of irrigation going, nice thick layer of mulch with my pitayas here, dragon fruits. I'm not going to be around to give them any pollination if they do flower, but hey, next year, maybe. Little baby plumeria in here. And this is the double split papaya with dual irrigation, so this should do really well. Actually, the crepe myrtle is a white one. It's doing its thing, but severely shaded by this Pride of Madeira, so it's kind of cut back. We'll see what happens. Of course, rosemary, always doing well, and you can walk by it at least. And get back over to here. So another dragon fruit. Couldn't really find a place for it, but gonna have to do its thing laying down. Blackberries, always. The Tahitian pomelo. So it's putting out good color on the new growth, but a lot of yellowing, very root bound. Doesn't matter too much. This thing still produces, and it's pretty old. Kind of painted the sunny side too. Through the steps here, you can see that's the not sure. So this is an apricot, and finally got some good structure, and is going to produce again this year. Really good structure. Backside of the Tahitian pomelo is just loaded with flowers. And all of these set fruit and then they'll drop, but smells good. You can see some of the fruit here, and this should have quite a bit of good sized ones on here this year. Coming up to the peach area, mid-pride peach is maybe going to be trimmed up a little bit more. I did give some trim. I'm not going to be around to thin it out, but hopefully it drops most of the fruit. The desert gold, I was able to thin out maybe 75%. I only left like one or two on a branch. Wasn't able to do my spray, so you can see a lot of leaf curl, but it'll do okay. Just kind of random things in here for the sprinklers, so we can kind of take advantage. Really able to do a lot of drop and chop, or chop and drop, because that's the tree. That thing was out of control almost, and now it's really nice and organized. And you can see it's spread out everywhere. Texas privet coming in, real nice. These are cool. Really green up this time of year, and then some flowers come out in spring and summer. And then the lime. This thing is going to produce this year. Super happy. I've kind of pinched out some of the growth so it doesn't get too uneven, but this is flowering already, and it pretty much produces all year. It's gonna be really nice. There's some random things in here as well. More privet. This stays dry, no irrigation, doesn't die. And put a handle on the gate. Woohoo! So let's go down to the bottom. Doing well with the rains, nice and green. And these guys are nice and green too. Don't get irrigation, but we'll have somebody come by twice a month and he throws a hose on it when it gets dry. So a couple more plants to put under irrigation. Only looks like that one here. New compost pile was built. Should be good in 8 months. And of course, the blackberries that produce year-round. I have about 10, 15 of them now. I'm trying to propagate as much as I can. They're awesome. This is that grafted Daily 11. Kind of the size of the queens, huge. Looks like it's gonna do its thing. I'd chop this up pretty well, so hopefully it puts some energy into here. And then these rest of these branches, I'll either come down lower when I get some new grafts, or we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll come down here and see what this does. This is the original from seed. Coming up. Those are the raspberries. Reed avocado. So these are both bought at the same time. You see the difference in leaf color. Not sure what's going on, but they seem to be doing well. Even to put out, looks like some bud growth right in here. Of course, more blackberries. These guys are everywhere. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Really putting out the spring growth here. Figs. Looking nice. And blueberries with the new mix, they're really doing well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one needs to be changed. But have to stay there another year. If it dies, it dies. Not big of a deal. This is the Fuji Ultra Dwarf. Puts out flowers for sure. And last year there's a couple apples on it. Kind of an experiment. Letting it get a little bit more normal, as you can say, on some of them. But there's some crazy loops in here. The other fig just pushed out. The Oro Blanco. This does really well, except it gets hit hard by the leaf miners. I'm not going to be around to do much with it, but it is what it is. Nice and happy. Blackberries. Blackberries. Collard greens. I was able to trim the pine tree out too, which is nice. Lots of, this is probably about a foot deep at least of mulch. You can see here. Yeah, that's almost a foot or so, and that's probably more because that's about a foot deep of well composted. You can see this stuff. And was able to clear this out, and my hillside is nice and cleared, ready for the summer. So just kind of keep after it so it doesn't get too out of control. Lilac season. Oh, smells good. This guy really pushed out this year with the rains. See what happens. And just more randoms. Celery over there. Artichoke. Oh, this is cilantro. Pride of Madeira. Starting to flower. Broad bean. More pitaya. Dragon fruit. Random strawberry down there. Artichoke. And this is the chocolate sprinkles that I brought over from that one, tucked into the dirt, so I'll have 2 pots. This one's a year or so old, and this will root out here really soon too, so it'll be nice production. The grafting stock for my peach, apricot, plums. It's gonna have to wait till next year. This is the chocolate sprinkles. Blooms year round, but in the summertime when it heats up, it really does well. More of the chop and drop from the tree up front. This is the Anna. Always in flower, and it really doesn't lose its leaves. And this is the Pink Lady. Still has some leaves on it. This will be ready in September, and this is, I don't know, kind of ready in the midsummer, but seems to hold fruit quite a bit. Chocolate sprinkles. This one's in the ground, but now that I have it irrigated with my reed graft, I'll see if that takes. And of course, more production. This is a super producer. I mean, year round. Lots of growth. Gophers are here. They're hard to get, especially when you're not around. And last but not least, more Acanium, Pride of Madeira. See the bees working it. and I was able to clean up my area back here. So that looks to be about it. You can see my little kind of mound over there. That's all collard greens. And then I was able, just trying to trench out. Eventually I'll put a nice French drain in here to get the water to come away from the house. Kind of comes down and then goes out. So you can see how aggressive the blackberry is. It's in this pot, but it's open bottom. Roots went way deep and around over here. So I'm gonna have more blackberries. I think that's gonna be it. So you see my timers. They seem to be working well. And hopefully we'll see what happens for the next 6 months or so. This is damage from the gophers. Nice and healthy with beans. Gophers have gotten to the roots on this one. You can see the soft dirt in here. So there's a hole and they're going after it. Look at that. Comes right out. So they chew that root completely through. That's why I have a lot of containers. But I will be here in the fall, most likely. And we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching.